Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
And he knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married.
That's too far.
Holy shit.
Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. It is the 17th of May, 2020. My name is Corey Winfield. Hopefully you had a great day in recovery. Hopefully everything was sober enough for you today. Joining me today in a very special chair in the 217 Recovery Studio is Marney. Marney, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How's the new chair? We got a new chair in the studio. It's
extremely comfortable.
It's black. It's leather.
Yes, very sleek.
Nico, knock on wood, has left it alone so far.
Yes. Knock on wood on that.
Yeah, Nico has claws. But there's really, unless she's doing business in here, like literally, her litter box is in the studio. I know, real professional. But unless she's doing like business, there's really no need for her to be in here. And she really doesn't hang out in here too often. So I'm hoping she doesn't take to the chair and think it's a scratchy pad.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah, and I ordered a new scratchy pad that should be coming for her soon. So.
Exciting stuff.
Hardship of being a father.
Right.
So difficult. You got a kitty cat. But no, today we had our first 217 Recovery Board meeting. And we're official now to the IRS, which makes us official to everywhere as a public charity, so people can donate to us and write that off for taxes. And we've been learning some of the ins and outs. And, you know, one of the things that we're going to do is reach out to dealerships and see about securing a vehicle for us. And that, of course, is going to be used for our transportation service. We're going to take people to and from meetings, doctor appointments, and stuff like that once we get the insurance and enough raised to put that through, which is this. One insurance company told me like $15,000 a year. The other one said from 10 to 15 grand a year, which seems like a lot. And it does seem like a lot, but the medical, non-emergency medical transport, you know, it can make a few dollars over the year. And, you know, Medicaid will pay that, and other people will pay, you know, to have rides to their medical appointments. And people do it all the time right now. So we would actually take that money and, you know, we would pay for upkeep, you know, the vehicle, stuff like that, and then pay the driver, and then whatever else we make off that, you know, will go into helping people in recovery, whether it be from clothes to trips that we're going to take across the state to speak to people, to, you know, donate our time at events, you know, stuff like that. So we're really looking forward to it. And the first board meeting today went really well. I was proud of the people that were there and the things that were said, and real good way to leave that meeting. And we left, and it seemed to be like a positive note.
Yeah, for sure. I think it went really well.
And the things that we want to do and the things we have planned, it's just amazing. Like, besides like building a rocket ship, I think we can do pretty much whatever we set our minds to. And we all have different ways and different pathways that we use to get us this far in recovery. So it's interesting that we all have different aspects of it. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think the board meeting kind of was good. It solidified the enthusiasm and the commitment that, you know, the other board members they're on board, right?
Yeah, they're on board, and they're on the board. But no, like Tyrone, he comes from Detroit, and his take on it is a little different. And Anna, you know, she comes from where you're from, the Moon, around the Ann Arbor area, and Detroit, the outskirts, and, you know, me, Southwest Michigan. And it's just, you know, I want to help people in Southwest Michigan as well. You guys want to help people on the other side of the state. We want to help people here in Northern Michigan. And I think, you know, we can have Michigan covered pretty well and help people across the state. And I want to be at everything. You know, obviously that's not possible, but that's something that I was told, and I didn't think it was possible either. And in Arkansas, we're in radio, and we had 4 radio stations, and we had 3 people to run them. And that was the iHeartMedia way, which, it gave me the opportunity to learn several different jobs and several aspects of it. And we made it work for the most part. So, there's a lot of things that we can do that we think that we can't right now. But, if obviously every event in Michigan we cannot be at, that's just physically impossible. But we can be at more than what we think we could. And it's going to take time. And, like I said, if we have the funding and the donations, we can go a lot of places and do a lot of different things in the name of recovery. And what we really want to do is put the word out there that, this recovery thing is amazing and we're good people. We don't have to be trapped in our past and we don't have to keep beating ourselves up for it. If we're in recovery, that's a good thing and we're proud of that. And not everybody has that outlook on it. And we want to change the perception of the general public. Like I said in the board meeting, like, people don't realize, and I learned this at the ambassador training, when you go up to your average Joe on the street and say, hey, what's recovery? And they, oh, you just got out of the hospital from, did you break your leg or something? You're in recovery, you have cancer, They don't think of it as you're in recovery as being, oh, you're free from addiction.
Yeah.
And I want to change that. And I want to make recovery, out there in the front fold of everything. And just what a great life that we can live now that we are in recovery. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of what they told us at ambassador training is about what they wanted to do. And that's what a lot of people are wanting to do, change the face of it. And of course you have, your actors in LA and out in Hollywood and your Ben Affleck. So, oh yeah, I remember seeing pictures of him in the back of the car and he was just looking like hell. And now he's doing these movies, and I wish Ben would have chose a better movie. That basketball movie was just kind of meh. There was a lot of things I bet he wishes he could have changed, and maybe he should direct one about like the real life. Mm-hmm. Maybe he feels it's too scary.
Could be.
I
thought it was an okay movie, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah,
it was kind of like, but I mean, we're biased.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were the hardcore stories.
Yeah, exactly. We're judging every movie that has to do with alcoholism and addiction.
The
fine-tooth comb.
We were going to watch one tonight. We kind of did, and then everybody started calling me. What was it called?
The Days of Wine and Roses.
Yeah.
Jack Lemmon. It's from
62.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was like its first movie, really, that brings up AA. And it's right around the time it was made when it was just coming out and becoming known to the public and so on. So it was really interesting. I saw it through school, actually. But it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It needs to be remade.
It does.
Yeah. Maybe Ben Affleck can get on that. I'd star in it.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm a great actor. Better than Ben Affleck.
You should do it.
I'm just saying. But no, I was going to suggest that we watch Leaving Las Vegas, but I don't know if you're ready for that one.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. I really don't know. That movie's a hard one to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me especially, it brings back a lot of memories and a lot of bad memories, a lot of that shaking and I don't know. Sometimes it's good to be reminded of that stuff, and other times it's just like, and maybe that's why I started feeling nauseous.
Maybe
it's because I was watching that and he was kind of going through his thing, and it just maybe it brought me back to a place. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I really started feeling nauseous, and I was like, yeah,
that's an interesting point, because I mean, like, a lot of people would actually say that movies like that are triggers, and to avoid them. I don't know. I guess it depends on the individual, if it's bothersome or not. But if it's something that if you're timid about watching it or bringing it, it brings things to the surface. That's for sure. It's like remember when's kind of stuff. So I'd be cautious about that.
Yeah, leaving Las Vegas though, I don't know.
So maybe you're not ready for leaving Las Vegas.
No, I mean, I don't. I'm
gonna go with no.
It's a tough watch. Like it'll bring you back, and you just think, ugh, glad I'm not there anymore. And you just have to be prepared mentally, I think, to sit down to watch that one. Just to, okay, you're gonna remember some things, go through some feelings, and you might have to make some phone calls after you watch it, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't know. I was thinking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which really isn't really addiction related, I don't think, but I don't know. I've been in mental hospital, so I think it's fun. You know, I look at it like a fun movie. And Clean and Sober, that had some funny moments. You haven't seen that one either.
No, I have not seen that one.
Michael Keaton was in that. And there's this one scene where he's like checking into this rehab, and this big black guy just comes running down the hall, butt ass naked, and grabs the TV and throws it or something. Michael Keaton's just like, okay, I'm staying here, huh? Okay. And I mean, I've had those moments. I mean, not like that, but similar in rehabs or dual diagnosis treatment centers. I don't know. And it just like blew my mind, especially first going in. I'm like, what am I doing here? I thought this was a good idea. I'm going to come here to get help. Like, what's going on? But there were some kind of funny moments in that one, and some serious ones too. But that movie, I don't know. Overall, I give it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Which one are you talking about?
Clean and
The Clean and
Sober.
Sober? I'll let you know. I want to watch it.
Yeah, maybe because it's just so old, and maybe on this kick-ass TV that I have, it'll bring it to life.
There you go.
I don't know, but it's just old. And everybody's smoking all the time, and I'll tell you, that's a huge one for me because I used to smoke, and I can watch people on TV drink, and it doesn't bother me. You know, if anything, it makes me feel sick. But when they start lighting up cigarette after cigarette after cigarette, it's like, man, I want a cigarette.
Yeah.
I want a cigarette bad. But
yeah, all those old movies, they'll be like in outside of elevators and in like doctor's offices, and you're like, they're lighting up, and it's just like, what is going on? How did that make sense to people back then?
Watching
and I was a
their
smoker too.
wife give birth. Hey, hold on,
Hey,
I want
hold
my
on, let me
cigarette.
put this out. Yeah. Jeez.
Different times. I couldn't imagine being in a restaurant, and I guess
Airplanes.
I was young enough, and you were too, where you could smoke in restaurants. They had the smoking section, and man, I smoked, but I never really put it together like how you could just eat breakfast and have a cigarette sitting right there. Like, I don't know. I wanted to enjoy my food. Like, I never really wanted to smoke while I'm eating.
Right.
I never really figured that one out. But some people, that's all they needed, man. They, cigarette going, coffee going, and pancakes. And now I made the cigarette real quick. I can't take 2 bites.
What
without
else
me.
am I missing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Ugh. Yeah, I never really did like the smell of cigarettes. And then after you quit, you realize, too, like,
Oh,
man,
big time.
You smell it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But, yeah, movies. What is another good one? I know I'm missing a big one. Oh, and it has James Woods in it, and I still have never seen it. It's about Bill W., and I don't remember the name. Is it called Bill W.?
I think there is. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, maybe I should watch that one, because I haven't, and I kind of want to. Just to see, you know, I guess it's about the starting up of AA, and I believe, again, I haven't seen it, so I'll have to watch it, and, you know, maybe we should do a better movie review next time of movies we've watched.
Put a little more time into thinking about it, because it seems like there's so many movies that touch on it. But, I mean, in terms of movies that are just about that, yeah.
My mom had me watch one, and I don't remember the name. It wasn't about alcohol, it was about heroin, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty intense. Damn, what was the name of it? It was kind of newer, and the kid was going to his sister's, or trying to get his sister, and they're trying to go to rehab, and he gets to this place, and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't take your insurance. And the kid's, like, freaking out. He's trying not to get sick again, and he finally gets his sister or someone to take him to get some more. And, like, he just went from, like, sick to bloop, hey, I'm fine again, you know, and we know that feeling as being alcoholic, you know, it's very similar to people in their heroin when they're coming off of that, and very similar. And I just remember thinking, wow, yeah, I remember that. And I think the kid ends up, well, I'm not going to tell you that he's dead at the end, but that's pretty much what happens, I believe. But the movie was really good, but it was a hard watch movie. Like, if someone is new off of heroin, I would suggest you don't watch that. I know a lot of my friends with that addiction, they don't like stuff like that. You know, like Chris, if he were to watch it, he probably would walk out of the room because he just doesn't want. It's still too